This is Derek Dean from MMAnytt and Studio MMA. I got Chris Lights Out Lytle. Now, my question, you've been in the game long enough. You hear people who've been in the game long, they say, oh, I fought at a county fair, I fought in a warehouse, but I fought in the Bay City Tough Man contest. Can you tell stories like that? How much has the game changed since that?
Oh man, it's night and day. I remember, like you were saying, my first fight, it was in, I think, it looked like it was an old abandoned warehouse in the basement. It was like some karate studio, and it looked like something from the scene Fight Club, you know. It was real dark, it almost damp, I think. It might have been wet down there. I can't even remember, like the cage, you had to hold it together. It was horrible, you know, but yeah, that's what was going on in '98, brother. So, you know, it's all the stories are probably true.
Now, seeing back then, everything was foreign. Like, I remember the first time I fought was in a warehouse for Dan Severn's Danger Zone.
Danger Zone, yeah, it was my neck of the woods.
I was there, in Indiana. And when I fought, it was just a bunch of people screaming. Now you have people screaming armbar, knee bar. Does it throw you off when do you ever want to turn around and say, it's impossible for me to get an armbar from here? Do you understand?
You know what? I don't even really hear any of that. I mean, it's funny, after a fight, I'll kind of think back and I'll say, hey, you know, somebody, you know, you heard somebody yell this, but like in there, like I'll hear it, but it doesn't register. I'm too focused on what's going on, and I don't really hear anything until later on. I think about it and I'll laugh, and I'm like, what were they talking about? You know, but it's funny.
Now, you've done a lot of boxing?
Yeah.
How does that translate to MMA? Because you couldn't, Manny Pacquiao couldn't just step in a ring.
It's way different.
Stance, footwork.
Yeah, not just that, but you know, people don't understand. Boxing, the distance is going to be different. So if I'm in punching range, you know, I've already been in kick range, so you can't just stand in kick range where you set stuff up in boxing because you're going to get kicked. If you get closer, you might get taken down. So it really changes everything. You can have a really good boxer who could be very ineffective in MMA. You have to really work on everything: submissions, wrestling, takedowns, and then you have to learn how to punch from greater distance, I think.
Two questions. One, it's almost personal. You were a fireman.
I still am a fireman.
You still are a fireman. Compare what? I mean, that's scary shit.
Yeah.
Like I might really die.
Yeah.
Do you ever get into a situation where you're trapped and you just, I've been worse. It's been worse.
I mean, absolutely, but you know, I don't think you have time to think like that. What it is, you know, I've been in some dangerous situations as a fires, and it all gets back to the same couple principles of you got to learn how to relax, you got to learn how to use your training, you got to learn how to think. You can't panic, and I think that's why these things translate over pretty well, and what helps me in one might help me in the other. So that's just about your mindset and your mentality, and you know. You have to. The people who panic are the ones that get in bad trouble and tap out too quick, or end up getting lost in the fire and don't make it out.
And recently, I don't know if you looked at it, the first no gloves boxing match just happened. Just happened. It was in America. It ended in 3 rounds. I looked it up on fightnews.com.
Who legalized that?
It was probably Kentucky. But
sure, that's
would you do a bare knuckle boxing match, or would you stay low? I already do little 4-ounce gloves. I'm not going to go less. And do you think it's safer?
Do I think it's safer? Absolutely not. I mean, from one standpoint, you'd have to say the whole point of the gloves were to make people not cut open, so that their brain can. I mean, from a brain standpoint, is it safer? Yes. From I mean, you're going to do probably a lot of retina damage, a lot of scars, a lot of bleeding, a lot of other problems. So. Would I get involved in that? No. I mean, not unless. I guess it would depend on the paycheck. I shouldn't say that. I got to clarify. But you know, would I want to do that? Absolutely not. I mean, you know, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get cut open. You're gonna permanently damage yourself probably. And I'm shocked that they would allow that.
Okay. Well, I can't thank you enough for your time. I can't wait to see you fight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.